It is often referred to as the weakest of the 4 films Mook Animation were involved in. However, does it deserve that label? I'm Tommy Bowyer from Move Rewind, and without further ado, let's get into it. Scooby-Doo and the Alien Invaders was directed by Stenstrum. It was released in the year 2000 and it is more light-hearted compared to the previous 2 Scooby-Doo films, Zombie Island and The Witch's Ghost, and therefore many people have labelled it as the weakest. However, I think that criticism goes way too far. Alien Invaders has a lot of strong things about it, and I'm going to discuss why I think that it's a hidden gem in the Scooby-Doo franchise. There will be spoilers in this review, so please feel free to watch Alien Invaders before you watch this review. Shaggy is the main character in this film. Even though it's called Scooby-Doo and the Alien Invaders, it's honestly Shaggy Rogers and the Alien Invaders, because the majority of this film is dedicated to Shaggy falling in love with Crystal, a girl who he shares a lot of similarities with, and honestly, I enjoy their relationship. It works really well. I think because Shaggy is portrayed as so over the moon with this girl that you kind of are invested in their relationship and you want to see it succeed. As for the rest of the gang, not a lot of development is done with them. They're kind of just there, which isn't a bad thing because, as I said, this film is mainly prioritising Shaggy and Crystal's relationship, and that's not a bad thing. That goes for other side characters as well. Characters like Lester, they are quite amusing. They stand out. However, not a lot of development is done with them. The aliens, their design is really cool. I like the aliens design in this film, but we could have had more screen time with them just so they stood out a bit more. Overall, I would give character development a 9 out of 10 because Shaggy and Crystal's relationship is really strong in this film. It's nice that Shaggy finally gets the spotlight, but the rest of the gang, they're kind of just there. The cast are once again amazing. This is the 3rd film the majority of them were involved in, and they all did a fantastic job. They understand their characters now and they perfected the voices really well. Gotta give a special shout out to Scott Innes. He portrayed Scooby-Doo and Shaggy in this film, and especially his performance as Shaggy is amazing. Shaggy is the central character in this film and he does an amazing job. He especially shares great chemistry with Candi Milo as Crystal, and it is those actors that make that chemistry and relationship between Shaggy and Crystal feel so believable. So a special shout out to them. They did an amazing job. Overall, I would give the performances a 10 out of 10 because I can't fault any of them. They were all done really, really well. Mook Animation returned for a 3rd time to provide the animation for this film, and they once again do an amazing job. You will never hear me criticise Mook Animation because it is great. Some people have criticised the fact that Mook Animation offer a darker tone animation-wise, whereas this film is more light-hearted, and some people say that's a bad thing. I don't think it is, because even if the film's tone is light-hearted, that doesn't take away from how professional the animation is. So overall, I would give the effects a 10 out of 10, because Mook Animation, once again, did an amazing job, even if the tone of the film is more light-hearted than previous ones. This film's story, as I said previously, is a bit more light-hearted. There are more humorous moments and not as many supernatural moments as there has been in Zombie Island and The Witch's Ghost. The relationship between Shaggy and Crystal and Scooby and Amber is the highlight of this film, and it carries the film. It's the most interesting aspect. The plot and the mystery in general is a bit stereotypical. I suppose you could say it's a return to form because the aliens are in fact fake. They're just a bunch of scientists who discovered gold, so they dressed up as aliens in order to scare people away. Pretty standard stuff for Scooby-Doo. However, I do like the fact that Fred, Daphne and Velma quickly figure out from all the clues what's going on, and especially a really underrated scene in this film is when Velma just says to the aliens, "Oh look, you can give it a rest. We know you're fake." I think that's an amazing scene, and it's one that should be in more Scooby-Doo films because it was just a very funny scene. Although saying that, the revelation that Crystal and Amber are actually real aliens does come as a massive shock. That's a great plot twist. You don't get ones like that in these films. So that was done really, really well and does add a kind of supernatural element to it. The fact that aliens do actually exist in this universe. Overall, I give the story and writing an 8 out of 10 because the plot is pretty stereotypical. I think it's not as much an issue because they do poke fun at how predictable it is, and the plot twist that Crystal and Amber are actually aliens does come as a massive surprise. For this film's special recognition, it's got to be what the highlight of this film is for me: Shaggy and Crystal's relationship. I know I've gone on about it, but this relationship genuinely does carry the film, and it makes it so much better. Shaggy's love song is a particular highlight. That's such a catchy song, and I think it just explains why Shaggy falls in love with this woman who's so similar to him. Once the revelation that Crystal and Amber are actually aliens, Shaggy and Scooby don't care. They still help them out, you know, they still rescue them. And especially the goodbye between Shaggy and Crystal, I really enjoy. Now, I weren't like Fred, I weren't tearing up, however, it was quite an emotional scene and probably the highlight of the film for me. So, for Crystal and Shaggy's relationship being as good as it was, this special recognition gets a 10 out of 10 because I can't complain about it. Shaggy is a character who is often overlooked in Scooby-Doo films, romantic-wise, so I think it was nice that Shaggy finally got to meet someone who he liked. So in conclusion, at face value, Scooby-Doo and the Alien Invaders is a pretty average mystery and a return to form for the Scooby-Doo franchise by having the aliens being fake. However, despite the lighter tone, the animation is once again fantastic. The voice casting is on point, and Shaggy and Crystal's relationship makes this film and raises it significantly. That's what makes this film unique for me. It has genuine emotional moments, and it is Shaggy's film, and that is fantastic. And that is why Scooby-Doo and the Alien Invaders gets a very well-deserved 47 out of 50, which gives it a grade 1 ranking. Honestly, I prefer Alien Invaders to The Witch's Ghost. I just think it's a more solid film than Witch's Ghost. So no, I wouldn't call it the weakest of the four. No way near. So thanks for watching, guys. I really do hope you enjoyed my Scooby-Doo and the Alien Invaders movie review. Please remember to like, comment and subscribe in order to receive great and maybe even improved quality content in the future. And if you know what order the Scooby-Doo films were released in, you will know that the next one on my list is Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase, which is my personal favourite Scooby-Doo film of all time. So I've decided I will not be releasing that film next Tuesday. I will be releasing that on Halloween. I think that's what it deserves. So I hope you look forward to that, and I will see you in another one. See ya!